Thank you, Dana.
And Democrats digging into the DHS shutdown as the funding standoff hits day 40. The department's new leader, Mark Wayne Mullin, suggesting yesterday that he will stop at nothing to get DHS employees paid their paychecks.
These employees have been there for 30 days without pay. And if you need anything to know their dedication to show up and still protect the homeland that you and I enjoy and the freedoms that we're experiencing, they're working for free because of political politics. I'm not going to let any of them outwork me. The president has entrusted me with this, and failure is not an option.
So this all comes as the New York Times reports Mullin was considering a bipartisan deal for immigration reform in discussions with my next guest. That's Democratic Congressman from New Jersey, Josh Gottheimer, friend of the show. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Are there talks, or is there a possibility of a breakthrough today?
Well, you know, the Senate is talking now, and I'm actually going over there in a minute. I think we need to do everything possible and stay at the table until we solve this. Dana, you can't have it that DHS continues to be closed and that you've got lines at airports because of all these agents who are not getting paid and therefore we're losing a lot of them. They can't go to work, so you're getting longer lines by the day, and these people need to get paid, as Senator now Secretary Mullin said that you just played. So we've got to stay at the table. We've got to work this out. I think it's doable. We're close, but both sides just have to be willing to give a little.
I don't know if Senator Schumer is willing to give a little. Watch here.
This does not have any reforms in ICE, but they've sent us, negotiations are ongoing, and they've sent us an offer, and we'll be sending them an offer back. And I can assure you it'll contain significant reform in it.
Josh, you're also a communications expert. For the life of me, I don't understand why Senator Schumer didn't take yes for an answer when President Trump made several changes, including changing out, firing the Secretary of Homeland Security and having a new person replace her. And now you're talking with that guy, Mullin. But I know you're heading over to the Senate now. Is your bigger problem Mullin or Schumer?
Well, listen, the bigger problem is that both sides, how it works. They dig in. And listen, I had a lot of constructive conversations with Secretary Mullin, and we may not agree on everything, but I'll tell you, he's a major upgrade, and I have a lot of confidence he's going to do a great job, and he's somebody we can work together with as Democrats and Republicans, and and I'm going to continue talking to him. But also on the Senate side, Dana, the big question is, do you fund DHS, including ICE? Enforcement, and as one big package, and that will come with reforms, many of which we've been working on, reasonable ones, I think, like body cameras and training and things of that, and use of force standards? Or do you take the ICE funding out of the ICE enforcement funding out of the package and vote on everything else and open up DHS and make sure you get TSA paid and make sure we deal with the airport issue and the rest of public safety in the country? And that's really the crossroads we're at. But the answer is you actually have to be willing to take a deal.
Right.
And that's what I'm focused on, and I'm going to keep working on. You just can't stop working on it and play this you do this posturing. That's fine. At the end of the day, you got to be willing to make an agreement and move forward.
It's really not fair for those TSA workers. Senator Kennedy brought up on the Senate floor the other day the idea that members of Congress should not get paid in the next shutdown and not do it on the backs of the TSA agents. Would you agree with him on that?
No problem with that. I do not think we should get paid when these shutdowns are happening. It's ridiculous. This is not, everything can't be, well, we're not getting along, we're going to shut parts of the government down and not only hurt the workers who are still showing up every day and protecting us, many of them trying to get second jobs, third jobs. I've talked to them trying to figure out how they're going to pay their bills. These guys don't make a lot of money. They're just trying to make it work and pay their rent. The answer is not to shut down and not pay them, and of course hurt our infrastructure and our safety, right? Because when you don't pay these TSA workers, right, a lot of them literally can't show up to work, and so that of course leads to longer lines, and that's unacceptable too. So we got to just work this out. We got to talk to each other. That's what I've been doing. Again, you got to be willing to take 80% to get an agreement done, and I think that's what I'm encouraging my colleagues in the House and the Senate to do.
Okay, well, let's see what can get done today. Josh Gottheimer, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.